Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video to my channel. Today, I want you to really think about this question and reflect on it if it's possible for you. But really ask yourself, why am I angry? Why do I feel anger? I myself would have asked this question a few years ago, about 2 to 3 years ago. And when I really sat down and I thought about it, not over a few minutes, but over a few hours and a few days, and I started to go backwards in my childhood, I came to realize that I was angry for things that were not in my control, clearly, things that I had no say in. So, once again, wasn't in my control. And I wanted to do something about it, which is really interesting because if I, at that young age, was able to do something about it, I probably wouldn't have been able to. But I was more angry because I didn't have any control or any say over my life at that point. And I think a lot of persons would be angry for this reason. You know, untimely circumstances may happen to each and every one of us. More often than not, at some point, we're going to have some untimely circumstance. But for me, I was just so angry and enraged because at that point in my life, around the age of 12, I just wanted to be accepted for who I was. And I just wasn't. And I just went into a straight frenzy, enough so that I started to resent everybody. It didn't matter about gender, it didn't matter about age, it didn't matter about interest, emotional connection. Just wasn't fond of people. And it's so funny because now, as I look back, I realized that I just had a lack of knowledge and I wanted to be in control of my life to an extreme. And now that I don't try to control everything and I just allow some things to be and others I allow not to be, it goes as such. So I've spoken to some people and I see that they would also be bitter or they would be angry or have hardened hearts. And I can laugh because when I thought that it couldn't get worse, it always got worse. And it usually got worse because of my actions. I wanted so much control that I didn't realize that my control was the influence I had in my own life and on people around me and how they treated me. So when a lot of people weren't inclined to help me or interact with me because they saw me as a terrible person, it kind of reinforced the belief that I shouldn't like people or I should be angry because people treat me terribly for some crazy reason when in reality they treat me terribly because I was a terrible person. But now, as a developed adult to my age, I see it so different, enough so that I'm tempered and I'm more mature and I'm wise enough to know that I can be angry, but my actions don't need to reflect it as such. I'm not going to hide how I feel, or I'm not going to mute how I feel, but I'm going to filter what is necessary and non necessary, what is worthwhile and what is not worthwhile. And I just want to say that I share sentiments for people that are angry, bitter, resentful, frustrated, tired, exhausted, confused about life. Because when you're ignorant or you're not aware and you don't have enough information, it's a lot of questions and confusion that may come about, and emotions will be all over the place because nothing makes sense or everything's misplaced. But now I can say for sure that it can and will get better. But it starts with you. It starts with you. How you treat people will determine how they'll treat you. But for some people, they will treat you terribly anyway, and you have to separate yourself. Completely move yourself away from them and cut ties with them, because the reality is they don't deserve to be involved with you to that level if they don't know how to handle you. And you're doing yourself a disservice and really feeding into the negative energy that festers within when you do that. So it may be hard originally to cut it off, but at some point you are going to have to cut it off and make room for better people and better character for yourself and lose that connection. And I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But in the long run, you'll be okay. I guarantee it. You'll be okay. As long as you're alive, there's a chance. And if there's a chance, why be so angry? It could just change within the blink of an eye. Good can be bad, bad can be good. So why bother? You know?